So we're off the elevator and we head for breakfast. Look at that beautiful lobby.
All right, let's go.
Good morning, Jane. Good morning again.
Good morning.
Do you like the breakfast?
Getting ready to dive in.
Good for you. Good morning.
Good morning.
Get everybody having breakfast here. Good morning. Hello, Tom.
Hi, Steve. How are you?
Good.
Good morning.
Steve.
In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and Holy Spirit, amen. Let us pray.
Right, and at the same time we are all here together. We were counting last night at the airport who's there, who's late, who's not late, but we ended having 42 beautiful people. Thank you very much, and thanks for considering this in your mind of coming to Jordan, coming to our beautiful country. Look at that to your left side. That's one part of Amman, which is the modern.
We are driving up into the northern mountains of Jordan. We're coming to Anjara and the Church of Our Lady of the Mountains, where there's one of the 5 official pilgrimage sites declared by Pope John Paul II in the year 2000. Beautiful church. A miracle took place here of a statue of Mary weeping drops of blood. You'll see that statue, and here is the explanation of it. This is the history and documentation of the crying Virgin Mary, and had blood tears coming out of her eyes. These are actual pictures, and it was validated by the hospital and by the bishop as an authentic miracle. And here's the church, and there's the statue of Mary that had the bleeding eyes. The paintings on the wall of the 4 sets of mysteries, the joyful, luminous, sorrowful, and glorious, are lovely to behold. Each one you can stare at for an hour because the iconographer put in amazing details. Lovely to see. Now here's what the priest is going to be saying, Father Franz, and the local Jordanian priest. Well, we can't wait to see Father Franz read that.
بنرحب بالجروب اللي معانا نشيلكم البنوت مبارك.
Still in the mountains of North Jordan and the Al-Jun region, we go to Mar Elias. We're arriving now. Mar Elias means Saint Elijah, and it's overlooking his village called Tishbe, where he was born. And there's a huge church that we're entering now, which was 108 feet long. 108 feet long. That's a big church. This shows that the early Christians knew where things happened. They knew where the biblical sites took place, and they built churches over them as soon as they were allowed to build churches. And when was that? After 313. Before the Constantine's Edict of Milan, there were no churches built. They met in homes. As soon as that was made legal, they started building churches. And they found the places, they remembered the places where Elijah was born, where Jesus was crucified, and they built churches there. 6th century, 600s. That mosaic has been there since the 600s. The priest Saba prays to Saint Elijah for his family, for him and his family, which shows that this was known right all the way back to the earliest centuries, that this was the place of Elijah. And there's also a baptismal up here, and in there it says every baby that's baptized here is a gift to the Lord for our life and for our salvation, for the salvation of the baby. And Elijah was born right down there, and it's called Listib today, but it's called Tishbe in the Bible. And Janet's taking a video, but I need my iPhone because I like this one even better. 2 Kings chapter 1:7. King Ahaziah said to the men, "What kind of man was he who came to meet you?" They answered, "He wore a hairy garment and a belt of leather upon his waist." And the king said, "It is Elijah the Tishbite." They didn't like him because he was always making pronouncements against the king. And right there is Tishbe of the Bible. Now it's called Listib, but that is Tishbe, the birthplace of Elijah the prophet. We're now going to have lunch at this wonderful lunch place, good food, and we get to watch them make bread. So we're lining up for the buffet here. Really fresh, wonderful food. We boarded the bus and had a few minutes to Jerash, which is one of the most spectacular Roman ruins in the Middle East. And we're going to take a tour of that and relate it how it relates to the Bible. Here's Elias explaining the hippodrome where the horse races were, kind of like in Ben-Hur. So you could gallop around, and then they'd get around the curve, and they'd come back up here, back around. And if we were standing here 2,000 years ago, we'd get run over by the horses and chariots.
Maybe the show starts at 3 o'clock. They start going there from 1. Okay, to book a seat. So
there's a theater that holds 4,000 people right over there, and there's the Temple of Zeus.
This plaza will be packed with people. Huh?
We're the Bonin Burgers from Texas.
In Jerash, Jordan. And we want to say hello to Debbie, Elise, Grace,
Terry, and Jim, and Elsie.
This is the Jabbok River, where Jacob wrestled with the angel and said, "Bless me." And the angel, which was God, in human form said, "You will no longer be called Jacob, your name will now be Israel." This is where we first have the word Israel in the Bible. That's where it originated here at the river of Jabbok. Okay, so this is the Jabbok River. And I'm going to read the passage for you just quickly. That's in Genesis chapter 32. That same night Jacob arose and took his 2 wives, his 2 female servants, and his 11 children, and crossed over the Jabbok River. Many people have used this as an example of prayer. You grab a hold of the Lord and say, I'm not letting go until you bless me. You said if I knock, you'll open. If I ask, you'll give it. I'm hanging on. I'm not going to let you go until... This is one of the views of intercessory and real wrestling with God in prayer. He said, then the man said, your name shall no longer be called Jacob, but Israel. For you have striven, wrestled with God and with man, and you have prevailed. So Jacob called the name of the place Peniel, which means I have seen God face to face, and yet my life has been delivered. So we headed out of the mountains in the north back down to Amman to our Marriott hotel. Everyone had a great day. We went through security at the hotel because it's a very secure hotel for everyone. And we had a wonderful dinner. It was a great, magnificent first day. Great dinner with wine included, and we'll see you tomorrow.